Welcome back, folks, to Mega Man 8 here on the heavybass channel. Last time, we defeated a boss with an explosive personality and got our hands on the explosive / shield weapon known as the Flash Bomb. This time, because it's a bomb, usually it needs to take out something big, dumb, and brutish, and you seem to be the perfect chappy. This is Frostman, and if you believe bloody Capcom, in a later game, he's this game's general. Really? And just because you couldn't choose Swordman already, because personality-wise you couldn't have a contact weapon? Seriously, what the heck were they thinking, not choosing him and not Swordsman? Really? Really? Kinda stupid. Technically I spoiled a later boss, but right now we're facing Frostman. And this level's cool because in this game it encourages you to use master weapons. We're gonna go ahead and do so. I will now show off exactly what this weapon does. When I say it's a shield weapon, you are safe inside the explosion bubble. Basically, you are impervious to being killed by a master weapon. Technically, that counts as a shield. Now we're moving on to a mechanic that is highly interesting. You get the jump, slide mechanic. It's not slow, of course, but then you go use speed and everything. You go when you jump, you jump. When you slide, and of course, it gets faster every time. Some of these enemies do show up. Anyway, your first bolt is right there, but you need to be very careful. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to last much longer there. Your second bolt coming up, ladies and gentlemen, is if you can slide through that, shoot through the enemies. Remember, keep a good charge weapon and avoid all obstacles. You're going to have an interesting time. I'm probably just going to call this jump, slide, knowing my luck, because Frostman's there's nothing interesting, it's just the mechanical thing. Also, now the speed's gone up. Pay attention, this thing's getting interesting. Anyway, from that, go down the bottom path of your next bolt. That is at least 5, 6, 7. Anyway, the snow, of course, like real life, slows you down enough. And since we have got no mini-bosses to face, we're moving on to the next part of the level, which is more fun. Anyway, song's more fantastic at this point, and you're going to be hearing this quite a bit. But this is where the next mechanic comes in. This mechanic comes in. Icebreakers. Or ice bricks. And these mechanics, sometimes they contain enemies, and sometimes they don't contain enemies. But you need to watch out for your opponents. But anyway, use the Mega Ball and have some excellent timing there, and you can defeat the giant whale enemies. You can actually, with at least a couple of with a Flash Bomb. It's a heck of a lot easier. Flash Bombs are very much encouraged. The weapons are encouraged for this game. There are some really good weapons in this game, and then there are some really bad ones. When they made the Flash Call in the last game, they had an advocating in mind when they made a sequel. More or less, if you go here and then jump on that switch there, which then releases that, it goes all the way to the left, so you can get your hands on the next bolt. These bolts are one-offs, by the way. You can only have a certain amount of items, but you need to create a certain amount of weapons. A certain amount of parts needed. Some parts are overpowered, and some parts are just really rubbish. And we're moving on to the next one. There are some moves that work out fantastically. Flash Bomb destroys cracked ice particles, and one actually has it here. Use the Flash Bomb to do so, and then use the Mega Ball to jump up to that one and collect it. We're making some good progress. The last bolt is actually right there. The last bolt is actually down that passage with the clear ice. More or less. Keep an eye on this one because it gets more interesting. And a Mega Man tradition by this point, you quite literally will be okay with using items, but Flash Bomb makes the game easier. I call it the third most underutilized weapon in the franchise because it's a pretty good skill. There are some real naff weapons, and not many people know about some of those naff weapons. One of them is pretty much a boss that shows up at least. In this game was the introduction of two bosses that actually become the first in the franchise to appear consecutively in different games, albeit with different weapons. Now moving on to the final part of Frostman's level, which is the final jump slide. And yeah, this is literally when the speed starts going up, and if you think this is not quite done yet, you have no idea. But the good news is that if you keep following the jump parts, some of these bits are treacherous, but if you jump, slide, then jump, go for the snow, and then you quite literally will make it. There we go. That's about it. So now we've reached Frostman's lair, and of course, you'll notice already, I mentioned before, it's basically a weapon that is defined by strength, and it literally chisels down strength. So, Flash Bomb is the strongest weapon against this guy here. It really is. It just tears him apart. Watch when we get down to it. Look at his health. He's already lost a good chunk of it already. And it really hurts him too. He just absolutely does nothing. He's a challenge anyway. Actually, no. I don't say anything. I say he's not a challenge with the weapon. And he's dead. So we now picked up the second weird evil energy thing. Which resulted also we got a master weapon. We've gone straight to pretty much shotgun ice colors because we have a new weapon in mind. Welcome the Frost Wave. Or the Ice Wave. The Ice Wave is a ground weapon. The Ice Wave is a ground weapon that goes throughout the ground and does a lot of damage. Regardless, it is not effective against mid-air. It literally just goes through the ground quickly and literally destroys everything in its path. We now have 12 bolts, so we have a decent amount. And next time on Mega Man 8, we are going to go after a boss that has actually appeared in another game after this. You want to know what it is? Well, tune in next time and find out. See you there. Bye.